which he hosted for nearly a quarter of a century. He's released more than 50 albums and even knocked the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper off the #1 spot. Here's how most of us remember him.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Cries not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm clean, nothing's worrying me. Yes, I'm free.
We've even brought the rocking chair back in his honour. Please welcome Val Doonican. Welcome. How lovely.
Thank you very much.
We got it ready for you. Oh, dear.
Oh, isn't it
Is that all right?
Yeah, getting up is the problem now.
How did it start, this rocking chair thing?
Oh, gosh, I know, it's such a long time ago now. It's the first series that I ever got was there used to be a little studio up in Manchester in a place called Dickinson Road. The studio, in fact, was a little converted church, and that's where Top of the Pops started.
In a church.
And do you remember the Harry Worth programme? Do you remember that?
Oh, yes.
And children's programmes like Titch and Quackers and all that. They started in that little studio. And I was given a trial 6 half-hour programmes on that thing. And we had a girl singer on. And stranger story to reflect on now. This very pretty girl, and she had a lovely kind of Laura Ashley kind of dress with a lace collar and long. And she sang this gentle little lullaby type song. And the producer came down, John Ammons, who did all the Morecambe and Wise shows.
Yes, exactly.
He came down and he said, I think that would look better sitting down, that song that she sings. So he said, go down to the prop room and see if you can find a nice little chair. So they went down and they came up with the chair. They came up with the rocking chair. I'd never seen it, of course. And there used to be a singer called Michael Holiday.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Michael had done a series up there, and he used to use that rocking chair. So they brought the chair up, and she sat in it, and she had a microphone concealed down behind this lacy top of the dress. So she started to sing the song, and she didn't have a hand mic. The mic was up here. So the producer said, just rock very gently, as if you're singing this song to a child or something. And as she rocked back and forward, over the sound system came this kind of and he came down, hang on, he said, what's that? So they investigated the rockers and the cushion and the whole lot, couldn't find it. And do you know what it was? It was her bra, actually. She had the microphone down here in her cleavage, you see, and it was all covered up. And when she moved, there must have been some sort of wires or something in this bra, and it creaked, and they were right by the microphone, so we got this lot of every time she moved. So he said, we were live at that time, so we used to do live shows. And so the producer said, look, we won't get her to change her dress and the whole lot. He said, let her do it standing up. And she stood up, but by then, he said, I've got some lovely shots of that chair with a little line of lights around it, and it looks very pretty. And he said to me, why don't you sing a song sitting in the chair? And I sat there and I sang with a hand mic.
Yeah.
And he said, that looks so good. I think we should finish the show on it. And of course, anybody in show business will say, finish the show on a slow ballad, you know, with nothing to, no applause.
You need your big number,
Yahoo at the end.
Yeah.
So I did it, and he said, believe me, trust me now, we're going to try this. Well, I mean, I did it for 24 years then.
You did it. Well, the stories are all in here. I mean, to have been in the business now for 60 years is 62 years is quite astonishing. There are lovely stories in there of meeting people. Quite right too. Lovely stories of people like, I know you're keen golfer. There's a shot of you playing golf with Bing Crosby, and it struck me, of course, presumably the likes of Bing Crosby were idols of yours, because your style is reminiscent. You're a crooner like he was.
That's right. You see, I've often said, and I say this on stage constantly, you know, ladies and gentlemen out there, that you can't imagine a more wonderful thing happening to you, that you go along through your young life and you're buying records of people that you think are fantastic and playing them and all that. And in my case, I finished up singing duets with all these people on my own show. You know, Crosby, Como, Andy Williams, all these people that I admired from afar all came on the show. Burl Ives.
Goodness me, I know the lady who swore the fly.
Remember Burl Ives?
Yeah.
And I admired him, and I learned his little silly songs about the frog went a courting and all these kind of things with the guitar. And I used to sing those at sort of little functions, and that's how I started off.
And you're still doing it?
I'm still singing, yeah. I'm still doing concerts, yeah. And I'm just coming up to 83 now. And
you know, I long to live long enough to get applauded for just lasting. I think that's the thing, really.
That's right. What was it the famous American comedian George Burns said? He said, I used to get a standing ovation. He said, nowadays I get an ovation for standing.
Who of all the people you work with is the one who stands out as being the most remarkable?
I liked a lot of people because of what they did. And I liked a lot of other people for kind of what they were. They were such lovely people. John Denver, the American singer, delightful gentleman, really. And I think my all-time favourite was Howard Keel. Howard Keel was like...
Yes.
Like
There's a bright golden haze on the meadow.
That's right. Like working with your favourite uncle. He's the most delightful man, really, to work with. And made doing the job a perfectly natural little thing. You know, we sang... He came over and did my Christmas show a couple of times, and it was lovely. But looking back, if I may just say this now, you know, last year, I think it was, I heard on the news that lovely actress Deborah Kerr had passed away, and I used to love her. And in sort of synchronised with the headline on the news, they showed a little bit of one of her black and white films. They showed that clinch on the beach with Burt Lancaster.
Yes.
And it showed Yul Brynner and Shall We Dance, plump, 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 and all that. So, and then they showed her as she was just before she died. And she went and got a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Oscars. And they put her up on the stage, and she was all old and beautiful and everything. And she just looked into the camera, and all she said was, you know, I have had the most wonderful time. And I found myself saying, God, so have I. I've had a
You've given us one too, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm so grateful to it.
Val Doonican, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, you did get